Okay, now this is moving on down the line. I believe this is the second video that's coming up right now where I got a false harassing charge, phone harassing charge in Panama City, Florida, which I'm due to go to court one day, June 15, 2015. So, now we're coming down again here. Okay. 12 is crime prevention signs. 30 is felony eardrum assault. That's 784 of the Florida statutes. That'd be the same thing like if somebody was to come behind somebody and whack their ears real hard. That's exactly what those boom basses do at that low frequency. It vibrates the eardrum of a certain frequency. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. Okay, 14. The maximum car noise that can be out of a vehicle is a ridiculous 25 feet. That's 316-3045 of the Florida statutes. Now, I don't know why they didn't make it to where there's no noise that comes out of a vehicle whatsoever, because with a bicycle, 316-304, it specifically states that a bicyclist has to hear their surrounding sounds at all times. Then we got 15, which is called streetcar gangs. That's 874-02 of the Florida statutes, of where they can take away their vehicles and their crimes are escalated 1 degree up. That means a misdemeanor becomes a third-degree felony. Then we've got 16, cop-protected terrorism. And what that comes under is 775-30, 895-03 of the Florida statutes, and 876 of the Florida statutes. Now, moving on down the line here. Now, what's happened to me is something that's called selective prosecution. Vindictive prosecution. Tina Alliston, who lives on 8th Street and Oak Avenue in Panama City, Florida, for 4 years, called the cops over and over about speeders, not about boom cars that was waking up her at night. The cops even went so far to put out a sign for her, but they didn't do it for me. 20. Cops are on the road 24 hours a day, so why can't they get rid of these boom car punks? 21. Cops can use video cameras to catch them. 22. The dispatcher invited my conduct by hanging up, over-talking me, frustrating me, to cause me to have use words that I never intended to do in the first place. Because most of the times I have been very polite to dispatchers, but when you've gone night after night after night after day, day after day, when you are constantly pounded and bombarded, I'm sure everybody after a while, they will try civility first. But then after a while, then they're forced to have to use more drastic measures. And that's what I did, because I was under entrapment. Now, we got to ask, 23, I did not start the trouble first. 24, cops trivialize the boom cars, that's under 876-03, by saying, oh, well, we've got bigger things like crimes and stuff like that, murders and different things like that. But that's an excuse, because cops leave their cars out in the open. They don't cover their cars up. The reason why they do that is because they know a boom car is not going to boom their war machine past a cop's house, because 9 times out of 10 he's probably got a video camera for his protection, but also probably monitors the street that's going by. And so what happens is they will take and retaliate against the boom car. But as long as it's not happening to anybody else, Seems to me they don't care. Not only that, they put their families in danger. There was a group called Lower 100 that came here to Panama City, Florida. You would think automatically they'd be told, look here, you can take your car home, but if you don't cover it up, you lose your rights to use that car. Then we've got that 25, the cops can take the boom car under 784.03, 784.08, pardon me, and also under 932 contraband. They can take away their vehicle. Then we've got where 26. In the past, I have been arrested 2 times. One time 2003, another time 2011, because I tried to get something done confronting the cops about these boom cars, where they lied and said that I just all of a sudden became irate, and they used different things like saying threatening and combative and all different kinds of things that they use, which they probably coached on it. Not only that, August 20th and March 13th, 1999, I was arrested trying to live in my home where there was a nightclub called Thunderbirds. And I was arrested by John Bailey of the Bay County Sheriff's Department. And I knew him when he was a kid. He was only 15 years old. His mother was B.J. Bailey. And he apologized that he had to do it. I said, that's okay. So, now we've got it to where 27. They protected a knife criminal that pulled a knife out on me, which is under 895 of the Florida statutes, which would make me hesitant to want to reveal my residence, because I never know when they might encourage him to come back around. Maybe the guy that did it is Danny Cashmere Pipus. Maybe he has a sweetheart deal with the cops, and he's very valuable to the cops. I'm the one that went to jail. He never saw jail. Lisa Stutzel of the State's Attorney's Office at the time said the victim no longer wants to prosecute. Why didn't they pick up the charges? So, now, 28. We've got where the boom cars put emergency vehicles in danger. That's under 806.10 of the Florida statutes. 29. Cops can put out signs where they ask the public to report the boom cars. 30. Boom cars are a terrorist organization under 874 of the Florida, 874.03 of the Florida statutes, 876 of the Florida statutes. 31. The Florida governor has a duty to protect Floridians, Americans. That's under Chapter 14 of the Florida statutes. 32. The perfect cop crime is to charge the true victim. Then the victim gets no support from the state, and if the victim tries to contact and find out why it is the criminal assaulted him with a knife for no reason whatsoever, what happens is now the person has either intimidating a court-protected witness, felony charges, stalking a court-protected witness, stalking a victim. I'm sure they got probably 10 different felonies. So therefore, the criminal knows, because he has been declared as the victim, he's probably even going to get money, too, on top of that. And it's amazing. I've even seen cops where they claim that they're the victim. So they probably get a kickback from that. 33. Then we got loud car, home, cop, arrest trap. There was somebody over in Texas by the name of Gonzalez, I believe that was his name. He was a former firefighter. He asked these loud neighbors to keep down their stereo, and they had a drunk party going on. So what he did is he protected himself, and he had to defend himself, and they put charges on him, and not the people who started the trouble in the first place. Moving on down the line. I'll never understand why they use complex measuring when it comes to an individual trying to report a boom car. You got to have a scientific decibel scale, and they don't tell you about the facts are that low frequency sound is a C-weighted scale, but at the same time they prefer that over simple eye-ear testimony. That's 35. So next, will they require a pain meter so that when somebody's in pain that they have to meet a certain threshold level, and then they have to do scientific calculations or something like that when somebody's in pain or somebody is scared? Do they have a fright meter that they're going to be required? Now, 36. Boom car ads brag about terrorizing innocent people, which further proves that they are an American enemy organization. 37. Boom car punks ought to become lifelong slaves to our wonderful veterans who come back shot up in the war, who are paraplegics. 38. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement, 943.13 Section 8. Cops can lie in almost no jail time whatsoever. It's only a lousy second-degree misdemeanor. 39. I never got to write down my side, because if it was routine that anybody could write down their side alongside the cops' report, there would be a lot few false arrests going on. But that was denied to me. 40. Cops protected a knife attacker, Danny Casimir Pipers in Panama City, Florida, who stalked me for 10 years. 41. Bikes to hear traffic, that's under 316.304 of the Florida statutes. So why is not the same for these boom cars that will have a wall of sound and can't hear nothing? 42. I fear criminals with badges more than I do career criminals, because I don't drink, smoke, do drugs. I don't hang out at bars.